Michigan State coming up in 2 weeks. What do you guys need to keep on working on before that?
I think right now where we are, it would be getting our younger guys to understand more and more each day what they're getting ready to get into, and hopefully they understand how hard they've got to play and how important each possession is. But we just need, as you watch practice now, you can see the older guys are starting to continue to take it up each day. It's all new for those guys, but they've got to follow suit and do the same thing.
Jay, you got it.
Do you guys have everybody back? I guess except for Zakai at this point?
No, we don't, because Cam hit his head the other day. He's in concussion protocol, so we are doing some things in the half court with Zakai, but he hasn't gone up and down with us any yet. But he's doing well. We're just going to err on being cautious with him, but we haven't had the whole team together to do what we would call what everybody does together. We haven't had that all year, and we'll get to it at some point. But I think as a coaching staff, we're all happy that we've got a group of guys that we're trying, and it's tough when you don't have the subs in practice, when you're trying to assimilate scrimmage games and what scrimmages, in terms of how hard you want to play in scrimmages, but you don't have subs. But overall, they're making strides.
How much did the time off hurt JP, and then kind of where is he at and getting back to 100%?
You know what? I think from a conditioning standpoint, he probably surprised all of us. I think that he would tell you that Garrett did a great job with him keeping him there. Obviously, understanding execution and where he needs to be and how quickly he needs to get there. He lagged back on that, but I would say we're probably more surprised where he is than where we thought he would be, because he's does some really good things for us. But this conditioning, he still has to learn to play harder, quicker, faster, and move. But we expect him to get there and get there quickly.
What have been the themes, I guess, if you had another scrimmage Saturday, what have been the themes of the scrimmages so far?
Well, each one of them has been a little bit different, because we are starting to try to mix some teams right now to start thinking about our rotations. When we start getting the whole team together, how do we want to sub? Can we put this? What does this group look like together? So we're doing more of that right now. And when you do that, when you had a group of guys like that played together for a week or so, you can tell they've got a little bit of a rhythm. But we got to do that more with different lineups, and some of it we can't do because of guys that go into a practice thinking that today we're going to do this, but like Cam being out, set it back a little bit. Zakai not being out there, exactly where does all that come into play? But we are trying to just mix lineups and see how different guys play together.
How much with the lineups do you like to have figured out before the season, and how much of it is that non-conference kind of a learning point?
Well, I think we all want to have somewhat of a general idea of substitution patterns, but it can change too. But we haven't been able to get real close to that because of just not having everybody in practice with us.
Has Cade stayed on that trajectory he set himself on in September?
Yeah, I do think that the freshmen, this is the time of year there's the grind of the preseason, because it's going right now. I do think they struggle a little bit. The older guys can handle it. They physically can handle it. This is the hardest thing. This is the hardest thing that these guys have gone through in terms of the level of work, the intensity every day, the physicality of it, but they've all done well. But they're all, the old saying, you hit the wall, they've got to figure out how to get pushed through it.
You guys were picked to win the league. Why do you think the media thinks that, and what about your team are you excited about with that?
Well, one, I think when you start the season, I think there's a tendency probably to go with older guys, and I think when you look at our league now, I do think depth-wise, this league is old, and I think it will be the most competitive year that the SEC's ever had, because you can make a case 9 or 10 teams, much improved, but you look at the returnees, I think that's what pretty much people go on, and it's there, it's what it is, but we got a lot of work to do before we get into conference play. I can tell you that with our non-league schedule and what we got to do there. But this time of year, rankings, ratings, all that come out. I mean, within the first week, I mean, you could be a top 5 team in the country. You could be the number 1 team in the country. Some of these tournaments, you could be out of it in a week because of this time of year. Everybody's trying to find themselves and figure out who they are. And some of these early preseason game tournaments are really good. What we're going to face in Maui is as good as I've ever seen in terms of a tournament itself. And you can be a really good team there and come out with a couple losses.
Was Zakai play at Michigan State?
We haven't thought about it yet. You know, we're going to just you know, he's doing his part. He has from day one, but again, he hasn't done anything with us up and down the court yet, and we're not. It's really, to me, it's a day to day, and Chad and Garrett has done a great job with him. And I mean, if you ask him, obviously he would tell you he wants to be ready and play. But again, when we get there, we'll decide. But I don't think we've really set a date yet because we're going to err on the caution side of it. And he understands that. As much as he's chomping at the bit to get going, he knows that we're going to look at it from a long haul situation, and he'll be good with it because he trusts his teammates, and he knows they've worked hard, and when he gets back, he knows that can help us. Obviously, he changes the floor every time he's out there, but we're going to take care of him physically first.
Got time for one more, then we got to go into India.
How much has it helped some of those other guys, guards, being able to play, handling the ball, just with Zakai not being a full go all off season?
I do think that's been the emphasis where we want guys. We've worked on different guys, getting the ball and going with it and get us going with their offense. And I think it certainly, with Zakai being out, you know, Freddie and Jordan Gamey, those guys have had to play that. Jemai Meshack, Santi's done it, obviously. We've got a lot of guys that have done it. The young guys are the ones that, you know, like really Jordan and Freddie are the ones that are having to really learn the system and understand that when they are at the point, it's their job to get it started. But, you know, we all would have preferred Zakai to be out there because he would have helped them even further along with it. But they've done okay with it. And it's, like I said, they're young to it, and it takes some time to really learn what we're trying to get done.